Mark Emmert. It's almost as if the NCAA president, Mark Emmert, he lives with his foot in his mouth. The things that he says. Now, I understand he's hired by the presidents to do a job that nobody wants to do. It's a little bit Roger Goodell light. He's not getting paid, 40 or 50 million, but he's getting handsomely rewarded. Let's just say that. I mean, it's a nice, healthy 7-figure salary. And Mark Emmert's a smart guy. Why they chose to die on the name, image, and likeness hill instead of trying to slowly let some of those things happen, slowly introduce transfers without restrictions. Instead, they tried to hold the dam back and that thing exploded. And that's why we now have a little bit of this chaos that's ensuing, because they chose to spend tens of millions of dollars in court instead of tens of millions of dollars of trying to solve the problem. But Mark Emmert's in Vegas. He's out there talking at the podium, and he drops a line that my family of laborers, my grandfather laid carpet, my other grandfather, installed glass in high rises. Like, that's what my brothers, work in construction. My parents were teachers and stuff, but we had a farm, work outside, actual physical labor. This stuff right here, this is soft. This is soft. It's climate controlled. It's easy. It's not a big deal. But Mark Emmert drops out there, being a university president is the hardest job in America. Let me tell you what a university president really does. They have to, handle some nonsense, some things at the top. And right now they're dealing with all the diversity, equity, inclusion, all their initiatives, but they're a glorified fundraiser, a speech giver, and a ribbon cutter. Like, that's what the university president does. And anytime there's any big decisions that are made, the board comes in as well, and they'll try to help direct it, navigate it. But COVID was the first time that it exposed a lot of these university presidents who were above reproach, who were always above criticism. People knew who they were, but they never did anything. So they never had to go to a podium and answer tough questions like, well, we don't want to play football this year. Why is that? Well, we don't think it's safe. Well, they're doing it and they think it's safe. Well, yeah, but we don't. We have better doctors. Like, they finally had to answer questions last year and they didn't like it. And people realized that a lot of these people are just empty suits walking around. Like I said, they raise money, they give speeches, and they cut ribbons at ceremonies. Like, that's what they do. And so for Mark Emmert to say that it's the hardest job in America does a disservice to all of our first responders, our public defenders, our military, people that are working construction, hard physical labor jobs, who do all those things. Like, I'm almost at a loss for words for him to say that. Like, I understand he wants to defend the people that elect him and pay his salary. That's great. But the hardest job in America, you got to be kidding me, man. They're all really well compensated. There were suits to work. They have to very rarely make difficult decisions. The board helps them with any of that stuff, and they just go around in glad hand. Don't sit here and tell me this crap, that it's the hardest job in America. It's almost nauseating to think that that would be the case and that someone would say that. And then now the other thing that you do is you go out there, and another statement you make, like, I don't know how we're going to be able to handle all this. We need congressional intervention, correct? Congressional involvement again. Dude, you're paid a lot of money. Solve problems. These presidents, they got 35 degrees. Solve problems. I got 2 degrees right there behind me. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm well educated, but man, make me a university president. I'll go you solve problems. Put them out there, see a problem, solve it. Don't sit here, oh, we can't do it. We need Congress to come in. No, you don't. There's opportunities to solve things. You buried your heads in the sand and you didn't do it. And now that's why we have the transfer portal and name, image, and likeness and all this stuff that happened all at once. And it's entertaining as hell, but it's a little difficult to handle.